Hey, what's happening, guys? It's ML here with Jalam in Tech. Today we're gonna review the 2015 Chevy Malibu LT Eco. Okay, so if you bought one of these guys, this video will show you how to use it and also show you some hidden features that you might not know about. Okay, so stay tuned with me. I'm gonna show you every step of the way and make sure that you're comfortable with your brand new car. All right, stay tuned. Alright guys, so we're gonna start with the interior features, okay, and then we'll eventually work our way, to the back and everything else, okay. So starting with, okay, here, let me flip this camera right here, make sure that it's a little bit bright. Okay, so up here above the cockpit, you have some buttons here, okay. So you have your side map light, okay, that's how you turn that on. Okay, if it has the sunroof control, which this one doesn't, this is where you would have the controls right here, somewhere around here, okay? And then the passenger side map light, okay? So traditionally they call this the map lights because that's what they were designed for, like if you're riding and you were using the map and all that, you would just turn that on and it lights up one side of the car instead of the whole car. So it was back then when people used maps a lot to travel. Nowadays, it's kind of like an innocent thing to use maps anyway, but they still maintain it because people use them for other features as well, okay? So right on the side of that, you have a microphone right here, okay? So you got two microphones actually, so for Bluetooth, because sound rises. So up here, I don't know if you can see it, this is the airbag indicator right there. Okay, so if there's a passenger on the passenger seat and they don't have their seatbelt on, that would indicate that the airbag is off. Also, if you have something heavier on the passenger seat, it will indicate as well. And it would also beep after you drive from, I think, 10 miles per hour, it will start beeping to remind you that the seatbelt needs to be pushed on. Okay, so on here you have your mirror. So this is the auto dimming mirror. Okay, so this is the sensor right there, automatically dims the mirrors when you have brights behind you. A lot of cars now come with this standard nowadays. Your OnStar buttons right here and emergency buttons. Okay, so if you got stranded, you need roadside assistance, or you have some emergency issues, you can just call OnStar and it connects to them and then they will send you help your way. Okay, so back here, if it's equipped, you would have the rain sensing wipers. Okay, and of course the windshield is heated as well. Okay, so that's what you're looking at right there. Of course, the traditional stuff, you got your visor right here, you can pop it and then take it on the side, if the sun is hitting from the side. Okay, and then you got your vanity light right here and the vanity mirror. Okay, hey, I'm looking at myself right there. All right, and you got same thing for the passenger side. Car has the holders right here for each side of the car. Okay, normally the driver's side doesn't have any, so this is cool that it has it. Okay, even in the back seats as well. And then this is basically the back of the car. Up here, since we're still talking about the roof, so up here you got your side lights as well. Same thing, just like in the front, left and right. Okay. And then of course you got the central light system right here, so if you want to turn the light on for all the lights in the car, you just press that and turns it on. And if you have it in the middle like that, so that means that when the doors are open, the lights are going to turn on. Okay, all four of the lights are going to turn on. Okay, all right, so coming down here, guys, what we're looking at here is the brown interior. It matches the seats. The door panel is actually pretty nice and elegant, On the door handles, you got your door lock and unlock. You got two of them, one on the passenger side, as you can see, and the other on the driver's side. So to unlock, you just press unlock, and to lock, you can just press, and it central locks all the doors. Okay, and it's got that indicator right there. Okay, so if that's popped out, in case you don't know, that means it's unlocked. And if it pops in, it means it's locked. Okay, and then here, of course, you got your vent controls right here. This took me a while to get used to. So to open it, you just twist that up, and to close it, you just twist it down, and that closes the vent. Okay, and then this right here is just the direction of the air. So you can see if I twist it, you can see the direction changes. The dash is pretty nice as well. So at night when the lights are on, you got some aqua LED lights hitting this chrome part right here, and it looks really nice. It just starts right from there all the way down to the trim, all the way here by the passenger door. So it's really nice, gives you a nice ambient lighting, pretty cool. So you got, of course, your mirror controls right here. So you got a toggle switch. If it's in the center, it means that it's not selecting any mirror. You twist it, of course, to the L, which means left, and you can control the mirrors up there. You can see that it's turning. Okay, and then to the right, it controls the right mirror, of course. You can see that turns as well, okay? And then of course you got your window controls right here. So the driver side and the passenger side are automatic, okay? When you push it down, it would automatically come down. However, to automatically put it up with a one touch is only available with the driver side for this model, okay? And then the rear is basically you have to push down and hold it to open and close the rear. This is like the child protection system. So if you have kids back there and you don't want them to be able to open the windows, you know how kids can be sometimes, so you can basically just press that down and it's gonna show some LED indicator right there. That means that it's turned off, okay? So they cannot open the windows up or down, okay? So it's just gonna be on a lock side, okay? You can see the central lock on the driver's side, of course the door handle, also chrome plated, but it's not real metal. Okay, it's plastic, but it feels good. Doesn't feel cheap. This is your headlight control right here. So if you turn it on here, it's always on. Seems like it doesn't actually want you to let it stay there. It twists back to automatic. And then you have, okay, park light. You can see the LEDs that I'm telling you about. You can see that it starts hitting that. You can barely see it, but it's there, okay? It's pretty cool, actually. A lot of people love it. And then, of course, if you want the headlights on all the time, you just press that. But a lot of times, a lot of people will just leave it on automatic, okay? And the button right here in the middle is your fog lights. Okay, so if you press that, if the car is equipped with fog lights, it's automatically going to turn on, okay? And of course, here is the brightness of your tachometer and, you know, and everything, basically your dashboard right here. That's the brightness of it. So if you can brighten it up or lower it like this, it's one of those buttons that will always come back to its position. So you just keep going like that and then go down to brighten it or dim it, okay? And then of course, you got your defrost vents right here. There's some on the front. This is your sensors for the headlights, okay? And then another defrost vent right there. It's got pretty decent speakers. It's not terrible. It's got a subwoofer actually in this one. It's not the best sound system, but it's pretty decent for stock actually. All right, and of course your glove compartments right here, okay? It's not cooled or anything, it's just a standard glove compartment, okay? And down here is your tachometer and your speedometer. You got your engine temperature right here, okay? Of course, tachometer, speedometer, and gas gauge right there, okay? And then of course here, if you have the turn signals on, okay, those are the indicators right here. And then if you have the high beams as well, that's the indicator right there, okay? The key is not a push button, okay? So this is the key right here. It's got one of those flip keys like that, so you can close it, and if you want to start the car, you just press that and it flips out. It's actually pretty cool. You just press the button and it flips. Unlock, so if you press it once, it unlocks just the driver's side door. You press it twice, it unlocks all doors. And the lock button, trunk release button. Talking about the trunk release button, something's really weird about this car, okay? So there's not a trunk release button actually in the car. Okay, you only have it on the key fob and on the trunk, okay? So if you have the key in the ignition, even if you press this, it will not release the trunk. It has to be out of the ignition. It's kind of stupid because, I mean, it wouldn't cost them anything to just add a single button right there for the trunk release button, but I don't know why they didn't do it. On a positive side though, the car comes stock with remote start. Okay, which is pretty cool. A lot of GM cars nowadays, I notice, come with remote start. So you press lock once and then you hold down the start button. Okay, so we'll see if it will do it while we're in the car. So it actually does it. Okay, so it actually starts it while we're in the car. And of course you got your panic button right there. Okay, so once you do the remote start, the infotainment system is going to remain off until you inside the ignition, okay? And as far as the tachometer right here, your dashboard, basically the only thing that indicates the light right there, okay? And then if you have the anti-theft deterrent system, you can see that that part blinks right there, so that comes with the alarm system, okay? And this is the ignition right there, so we're going to go ahead and put the key in there. Okay, so once you do the remote start, you come in, you have to press unlock to unlock the door. Okay, it doesn't have the comfort access system. I think you have to pay extra for that in this car. Okay, but once you come in, you know, it's not like one of those when you press the brake it turns the car off, or the gas it turns the car off. It still remains on, and all you have to do is put the key in and then just flip it. So you flip it a little bit more all the way to the start, but don't like start the car. Just flip it to the ready, and it's gonna turn everything on right here. Okay, so you can see that your tachometer lids up, engine temperature, gas gauge, speedometer. Okay, so this is American standard, so it's only miles per hour. It doesn't have the kilometers per hour. Okay, and you have an option for your digital speedometer, and in the center, as you can see, is your LED screen, indicator of where the transmission is on. So it's on park. If it's on drive, it's gonna show drive, and if it's on manual, it's gonna show M1 up to 6, because it's a 6-speed automatic transmission. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, so this right here is your turn signal. What I like about this turn signal, I've seen it on the BMWs and other high-end cars as well. Basically, if you press it halfway, it only blinks 3 times and it stops. Okay, so this is great for lane changes. Okay, so because on a traditional car, if you're doing a lane change, you have to push it all the way down, and once you complete the lane change, because the steering wheel doesn't turn all the way, it remains there, so you have to go back and flip it back on. Okay, so with this, it saves you that. You just press it halfway and it blinks 3 times and it stops. Okay, it's really nice and convenient. Okay, also it's got a turn signal warning system, so if you forgot your turn signal on like that for a long time, it would actually indicate on here on the infotainment system right there that your turn signal has been on, you know, so you can turn it off. All right, on here, of course, you got on same toggle, the high beam is going to turn on. Okay, and then if you push it towards you, that's the flasher, so that's kind of pretty standard. All right, and in this menu right here, you're seeing is different displays. Okay, that can be on here. All right, so it shows you different information. So when I press the menu, you can see that changes to vehicle information menu. So it's got the tire pressure system right here, which is pretty convenient. Tells you your tire pressures, and it would also tell you if one of the tires are low. As you can see, the passenger side front tire is a little bit low compared to the others, but also it's because we had a drop in temperature, so I'll just top it up. Okay, and if you press it again, it switches back to trip and fuel information. Now there's this knob that you can twist. If you twist it up or down, it gives you different information, like your trip information, trip 1, trip 2, your range, fuel range, your average miles per gallon. Okay, so this car actually, I mean, they advertise that you can get up to 25 miles to the gallon in city, but I'm basically, so far when I drove it, I've been getting 23.6 miles to the gallon, which is pretty decent as well. Okay, and then of course you got your average speed right there, the timer, navigation, but this one is not equipped with navigation. If it is, you will see your turn by turn right there in front of you instead of a screen right there. Okay, and of course if you flip it, it resumes back to the digital speedometer, so that gives you a pretty big speedometer, which is pretty nice. You still have this one right here, which is the dial. All right, so and then when we switch to vehicle information, so in addition to the tire pressure, you can see all the information too, like the oil life remaining. So we got 62% remaining on the oil. Okay, the battery voltage, so it's pretty informative actually. You can change the units from US to other countries. Okay, and then of course back to the tire pressure, and anytime you want to reset or clear, you just press and hold that, certain things will reset. Okay, so like this right here, so it said I just wanted to reset the tire pressure, and it says, are you sure you want to relearn? And then I'll just hit yes. I'll flip up and select yes, and it beeps twice, basically just telling me that the tire learning is active. Okay, so now I'm gonna drive for about 2 miles, and it's gonna check the correct tire pressure. It's good to do this once in a while when you top up the tire, because it just doesn't update as quick as it should. Okay, so it's always good to reset it. So that's how you reset it. You just hold it down, and then it gives you a warning. You hit OK, and you're good to go. And once again, that's the reset button right here. All right, guys. So on the steering wheel, it's a multifunctional steering wheel. You got the big Chevy badge right there. You got your cruise control cancel. You got resume. You got set, and then you got to turn the cruise control on first. Okay, so when you push this button right there, it flips, and then you're gonna see the cruise control indicator right there. And while you're driving at a speed, you have to be at least 25 miles per hour and above, and then you press it downwards, and that sets it. And from there on, if you flip this knob right here upwards, it increases the speed that you're setting, and then of course you flip it down, it decreases. Okay, it does not have adaptive cruise control. Okay, so the 2017s have it. I don't know if the 15s had it as an option. All right, guys, so you got voice command, which is pretty cool. Okay, there's two modes to it, or two ways to it. So you press it once, it activates the vehicle's voice command
Please
system.
say a command.
Okay, you gotta wait till it beeps before you say your command. Okay,
Please wait until after the beep to speak.
just like it said. Okay.
Please wait until after the beep to speak.
And then if you want to cancel it,
Goodbye.
you just press that. Okay, and that's what you use to hang up as well, or mute the audio. You just press that mutes the audio as well. You can see that it mutes the audio. So if you're talking to someone, you're talking about all of a sudden talking about something important, you can just press this button right there and that mutes the audio. Okay, and if you press it back again, it resumes. All right, now the other mode to the voice command is if you hold it down. I don't know about Androids, but on iPhones it will activate Siri. Okay, so if you prefer using Siri versus the car's voice command, you can do that. I end up using just the car's voice command because Siri is not any better. Okay, and then you got your wipers right here. Of course, does not have the rain sensing wiper. This one is not equipped with it. Okay, this particular car is not equipped with it. So to wipe, you lift up once. That's low, medium, and high. Okay, and of course if you want to switch it up, you just roll it all the way down, and if you press once while it's off, it just missed and it would wipe once. Okay, so this is like when you come in the morning and you just want to take the water off of the windshield. And the next one is your intermittent wiper, so you can control that from low to high. All right, and then of course there's no button here, so it's just fake. If you want to use the mist, you just push it towards you and it's gonna see that it's gonna start spraying. If you want to use the spray to wash the windshield or the windshield washer. All right, your vents right here, you can only change the directions, you can't shut them off completely, so that kind of sucks, but I think it's standard with a lot of cars. And of course this is your screen right here. Okay, your 6-inch screen. This car has satellite radio, so you have like the warning systems right here. So currently you can see that there's a flood warning in the area because it's been raining, so I'm just gonna turn that off. This is your radio. It's also a touch screen, but you got also hard buttons right there. Okay, so you can hit back, or you can do it from here as well. Okay, you can hit home. You can also do that from here. Okay, you can press the home from there also, or you can press it right there. And these are the apps that you get, the home page. You got Pandora. So if you have Pandora on your phone, as soon as you plug your phone, it's automatically gonna start Pandora radio. You got aux, you got Bluetooth, and you got your phone, and there's more options. But let me touch a little bit on the Pandora. Okay, so if you have Spotify or other music streaming systems besides Pandora, it's not gonna play. Okay, it will try to select music from that you have stored on your phone instead, at least with the iPhone. So I've had that confusing a lot. So you know, people will plug their phones in, but they don't have music saved in their phone itself, and it will not pick it up. Okay, so they have to default back to the aux, which will always work, by the way. Okay, and of course those are grayed out, means none of those are active, but the phone is active right now, so you can do this and then the phone is active. All right, and then if you hit next, gives you the rest of the screen. It's kind of deceiving because when you look at that, you're like, oh, why did they just have only 4 here and then they have the bunch right over there? All right, but anyway, so this is the page 2 of 3. So you can view your now playing music. Okay, so it could be iPod or AM or FM or satellite radio, whatever is playing, it will just show you your now playing right there. Okay, and then if we want to go back, we can either press the touch screen or we can press that. Okay, so I pressed it a little bit too much, so I hit next. Okay, next is the AM, so you press that. That will basically take you through the AM. Okay, and that's your AM right there. You can set your favorites for the AM as well. Okay, so let's say we want to do a choose a station right here. So let's say we know what station we want, so you just use this knob right here, which is tune menu. Okay, so as you can see, as you twist it clockwise or anti-clockwise, it will increase the station. Once you get the station that you want, okay, what you want to do is to set it to favorite. You can just go ahead and hold down on one of the stations or the default favorites, and it's gonna save that favorite to that station. So that's how you set your favorites, guys. Once again, you twist this knob to the desired station, and then you hold down, and you're gonna hear a beep, and it will show you a notification saying that that's saved to your favorites. Okay, so and you got favorites 1 to 6. Okay, so if you go on to your favorites, you just press the button right here next to the volume. You press it, and then that's favorite 6 of 6. and if you press it again, it goes back to favorite 1 of 6, and each of them have 6 slots right there. So 6 by 6 basically of favorites is what you have. You do the math, okay? But that's how you switch between your favorites, okay? And then here's the home button right there again. You got your source, so you can choose where you want the music to play from. So if you press it, okay, like right now it's on FM, and it's gonna go on satellite radio. And there's your Pandora. It skips it automatically because your phone is not plugged in, okay? And there's another music mode called Stitcher, okay? So if you have that, you can choose that one as well. All right, and then of course there's aux and all that. If that's plugged in, you will have an option for that. So that's how you select your source. This is the phone button. You have one on the steering wheel, but you also have it on here. So this is more like if you riding with someone like your co-pilot or something, and they want to make a call, you just press this and it takes you to the phone. So when the phone is connected, right now mine is on airplane mode, but when it's connected, you will you can enter number, you will see your favorites and all that. It displays them all in here, okay? And of course you got your back button, and this right here is on the turn menu. When you press it, that's what you use to select, okay? So you go to what option you want. It's basically your navigating knob. So you go to what option you want and you push down to select it, okay? So that's how you go about that. As you can see, this is basically the Sirius XM stations available. All right, okay, so and then there's a secret hideout that I really like. So it's basically behind a infotainment system. So you just flip this like that, okay, and there it is. Took me a while to figure it out actually. So I'm like, because this switch almost looks like it just turns something on or off, okay? So I accidentally flipped it, and boom, this flips off. And when it flips up, it turns off the infotainment system, which is actually, I mean, it's all right. I mean, it makes sense that way. And then you have this rubber non-slip mat right here. So you can either put your phone there, or you can put your sunglasses and stuff like that. And it's got an LED light underneath it right there, so you can see at night. All right. As soon as you flip it, it would turn back on, okay? And it stays on what screen you left. You got your CD eject button right there. You got your timer. So when you press the timer right here, it would take you to the clock. So you can change the clock settings right there. You can hit automatic clock update, okay? So we'll have that checked anyway. So that way it would automatically update the clock. You can change your format. When you uncheck the automatic, it will let you set the time. Otherwise, it will just use your time zone, and it gives you the right time. All right, and of course your slot for your CD. Above that, you got your play and pause button right there. You can seek right there. You can configure. So when you hit configure, it would take you to like the language settings, the general settings of the car basically. So you can change languages right there. So you get English, Canadian, French, and
Espanol, Mexicano.
You got your time right there, radio settings, phone settings. This is where you set your phone basically, and then radio settings right here. You can do automatic volume. So basically it would go on high, medium, or low, or you can turn it off. And then you got the grace note settings right here, so you can normalize that if you want. You got your channels. So basically that's your general radio settings. And of course time settings, just like I showed you earlier. Phone settings, here's where you set in your Bluetooth. So if you want to set up your Bluetooth, okay, easier way to do it is first you can either press this, okay, and you're gonna find phone setting under there. So you just wind this down to phone settings and you press down, and it will bring you to this option. The other way is configure. It's kind of like the longer way, but when you press configure, you can go to phone settings right there with this knob, and you push down, and then it brings you the same option as well. So you can see your device list, and or you can pair. If it's the first time you're pairing, you just press pair, and it's gonna show you this right here. And from here you'd go to your phone or your tablet, whatever you're connecting that has Bluetooth, and then you're gonna search for. All right, so that's how you set up your phone, guys. All right, you can repeat this video if I'm going a little fast, okay? And of course you got the display settings right here. So here you can customize the home page, okay? So you can change it around or something, you can check what you want displayed on the home page as well, okay? So you can check, so things that are checked are going to display on there, things that are not checked are not going to display on there. Like CD is not checked, so it's not going to display. So I'm going to check it this time, and it will display on the home screen. USB is not on there as well, so I'm going to display that. And then when I hit done, you will see that before it was only 2. So I actually thought that was by default, but it's not. You can change it through the settings. So that's something I just learned myself. Okay, so you can add as many as is on the list right there. Okay, so back to configure. That's display settings, and then you got your vehicle settings. Here you can check the climate and air quality. So you can hit automatic fan speed to medium. remote start auto heated seats, so you can set that. So basically whenever you use your remote start, it's automatically gonna heat the seats. This is pretty cool because a lot of times you use your remote start for the winter anyway, and you can automatically defog as well. Okay, so as long as you have the air conditioning on auto, it's gonna use the automatic defog and all that. And then back, this is the button right here, which is very convenient. So this is the navigator button, this is the select, and this is the back button. All right, so comfort and convenience. Here you can you can change volume to medium or low, and button change, you can uncheck it or check it. All right, of course you got your lighting settings here. So you got the vehicle locator lights right there, so that basically helps you locate your vehicle. Exit lighting, so basically you can set the pathway lighting. Basically the light will stay on for so long, however option you set it right here, so 30 seconds, a minute, or 2. And basically the reverse light's gonna stay on, and the front lights are headlights are gonna stay on also, to basically help you walk into your house. Power door locks, so you can change the settings on there as well. Open door anti-lock out. Okay, so you can set that, so basically it helps you not lock yourself out. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I'll set that up anyway. And automatic door unlock. Okay, so you press that, it unlocks all doors or only driver door. So we're gonna hit only driver door for safety features. Next, you got your remote lock, unlock, and start. Okay, so here you can change the settings for that. So remote unlock, you will hear a feedback. Okay, so you can either choose it to flash or not. That's actually pretty useful. So it's basically one of the ways you can tell if it's locked or not. And it's good, so if your remote battery is dead or something, you can't tell, there's no way of telling if you actually locked the car or unlocked it. So it's good that if it flashed, to give you feedback. All right, so the lock and unlock feedback as well. Okay, the unlock, if you press it twice, the lock, if you press it twice, you will also hear a turn. Okay, a light and a horn. Okay, or you can just do the horn alone. Okay, so you can return to factory settings right there as well if you want to. Okay, so that's about configure. Next is, so here you can change your tune settings. You got your bass, mid-range, terrible, equalizer, fade, balance. So you can change the settings right there as well. Okay, so like bass, if you're on there, you gotta press it down. Okay, so when you navigate to what you want to change, let's say bass, you push down once. Okay, and it's gonna select that, and then now you just turn the knob up or down, and you can see the bass is increasing. And once you're done, you gotta push it down to save it, otherwise it's not gonna save it, it's gonna return to default. And you can do the same thing to all the others. Equalizer, you just push down right there, and you can choose what equalizer you want. So right now it's on manual because I changed the bass myself, but you can do pop, rock, and all the others. All right, and of course you got your fade right there, so you can fade one side of the car or not. So once you press it down, and you can see the target indicator right there, so you can push down, so you can fade one side of the car, the front or the rear, or left or right. You can basically fade it if you want to go left or right, like that. So that's the balance, so you can also change the balance right there. All right guys, so and then you got info. So when you press this right here, it would give you audio info. It would give you the 5-day forecast if you have it available, okay, which this car has it. So you can see the 5-day forecast. Oh god, it's gonna be a lot of rain, huh? But tomorrow is looking good. It's gonna be partly sunny, or mostly sunny, and Thursday is looking good as well. All right, and it tells you when it's last updated. So this was updated 10:50 a.m. like a minute ago. All right, so we hit back. So there's information, you press that, and you can see nearby fuel stations. Also, if it has it available, it will show you the nearby fuel stations based on your GPS location. It even shows you the prices as well, the regular prices. And you can press on any one, and basically it will navigate you to that if you have GPS. But this one does not have GPS, so it would give you an option to call them, which is pretty cool still. All right, to call them, maybe to see if they're open or not. You can see movie shows right here. So you can see the theaters or the shows that are going on. Actually, I'm sorry, the shows that are going on, and you press that, it will show you what theaters is playing on and how far out they are. Again, if you have the GPS, you can just navigate right through it. So that's actually pretty useful to get the GPS when it comes to this feature. So personally, if I was building this car, I will include the GPS. All right, it just makes sense. If you have this feature, you might as well get the GPS. So down here you got your dual climate control, okay, left and right, okay. And if you hit sync, it's gonna sync with the climate, Okay, so right now if I leave it on automatic, right there I can change the temperature, and you can see that it syncs. When I uncheck sync, the LED yellow light's not going to turn on. It means that now I can have one side hotter and then the other side cooler. Okay, which is cool too. So if you're riding with your spouse, she's usually always cold and you usually always hot, you all don't have to fight over it. One side of your car is going to blow a certain temperature and then the other is going to blow the other. So like right now it's going to be blowing 71 on this side of the car, it's going to be blowing 74 on this side of the car. Okay, and of course if you want to sync it back, you can just hit that and it syncs. That's if you all agree on one temperature. Air conditioning, so this has got the eco system like I mentioned in the beginning. So when you press this, it goes on eco, so that turns green. Okay, so the AC is not on full blast, but it's on eco, so it's going to save you gas. Alright, so it's a pretty cool feature. You got your modes right there. You got your fan speed. So as soon as you have it on auto and then you twist the fan speed, it's going to take it out of auto. You can see that the light turns off as soon as I twist the knob for the fan speed. Defrost, front defrost, and you got your rear defrost right here. This car is also equipped with heated seats for the front seats. So you got the driver side and the passenger side. You press it once, it's on high. You press it again, medium, low, and off. And then if you want to recirculate the air, you just press that right there. The LED light indicates and it'll show you right there that it's going to be recirculating the air instead of letting fresh air in. Okay, so this is good if you have a smoking truck in front of you. You can just recirculate the air, try to reduce that. You got your hazard light right there. You got a 12 volt right here in front of you. Traction control, so you can turn it on and off right there, and it will indicate right there if you turn the traction control off. This is pretty cool. It's got a phone holder right there. Okay, it's got another one right there, so you can use one for phone and one for coin, or if there's two people traveling, you can each have your phone holders right there, unless you're using your phone for GPS, because this one is not equipped. All right, cup holders, you got two cup holders, you got two on each door as well, so it's pretty it's got a lot of storage, which is pretty convenient. Talking about storage, you got your armrest right there. Okay, within there it's kind of dark, so I don't know if you can see, but you got USB and aux, and you got another 12 volts right there as well. All right, and of course you got your traditional emergency brake. The transmission is a 6-speed automatic transmission, pretty unique actually. So it's the shifter, you can also set it on manual shift, which is the M right there. Okay, and like I was showing you right earlier, the screen right there will indicate manual if it's on manual. And then the shifter, you know, like to change the gear. So if you want to manually shift the gear, a lot of times for a lot of cars, you twist it to the right and then you start rocking it up and down. But this right here is pretty unique and weird at the same time. So you just press the plus to go up and you press down to go. And it's pretty sensitive actually. So it doesn't let you shift more than 2 while the vehicle is on standstill. I've seen it on other cars like BMWs, you can fool with it. Okay, so you can kind of go like that and it would go. If you do it quick enough, it will show you all the gears available. All right, and of course you got drive. There's the little release button right there, so you press that chrome button. It's not metal, it's plastic, but it's pretty nicely built. Doesn't feel too cheap. You got drive, you got neutral, you got reverse, and you got park. All right, the headrest, basically you press this right here and you can lift it up or down. That's how you adjust the headrest. This has got an 8-way seat, so we're gonna get out here. It's kind of raining. I'll show you. So you got power seats right there. So the front seats are powered. Okay, so you got lumbar support, the back rest, and then the adjuster right there. All right, the steering wheel, this is where you adjust that. Press that and you can it's telescopic as well, so it goes in and out, up and down, and once you're done, you lock it. Make sure you lock it in place. Don't forget to do that. All right, vent close and open right there. Okay. The horn, okay, so you can honk at people. I actually like how the horn sounds on that one. Okay, stand place to release the trunk button right there and just pull it and it releases it, and there's a latch out there so you can go ahead and unlatch it. All right, so one more thing guys, so this has got the eco mode like I mentioned earlier, and part of the features of that, or the biggest thing about the eco mode, is when you come to a complete stop, the air conditioning is not using the engine. The car will shut off when you put this on the brake. Now it will come to auto stop to kind of let you know that it's okay, your car did not stall. It's just, you know, trying to save you gas while you're waiting at the light. Okay, so if you have those long lights that, you know, never seem to go green, you know, it saves you gas while you're sitting right there. Okay, so it's pretty useful. Don't freak out thinking that your car stalled. because when it's actually stalled, it will come to the off button right there. So that's the difference. It will come to there instead of auto off. All right. Auto off, you cannot really turn it off. At least there's not a simple button that you can press to turn it off. There might be some kind of bypass to turn it off manually or hard reset, but you cannot turn it off. So if you have the Eco LT of the Chevy Malibu, you would have to deal with that, okay? But it's really just designed to save you gas. All right, guys. So this is the back of the car. If it has the Eco, this is where you can see it. And of course the automatic turn off as well, like I showed you. The trunk release button is kind of hitting. It's kind of raining here, guys, but it's right next to the brake light, so you just push it down. You gotta unlock the car although because it doesn't have the comfort access, or you can just use the remote and it releases it. All right, so that's how you open the trunk, guys. You got your sock pin antenna right there. It's pretty cool. The mirrors don't fall on this one. I wish it did. And this is the front, and this has got the fog lights and everything on it.